Well, Kai Kara France, we have a rather big fight coming up for you against former bantamweight champion Cody Garbrandt. Can you just talk to us a little bit about that matchup, what you see in it, what you like about it, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I've got a big fight coming up. High profile name, former bantamweight title holder. So yeah, I haven't really been thinking about the matchup too much. You know, I've grown up watching Cody. I remember my first ever UFC event was watching a Cody Garbrandt headline against Thomas Almeida. I was over there in Vegas for the Ultimate Fighter tryouts. This is back in 2016, and he was a headline for a fight night. So pretty cool how things turn out, and now we're fighting each other. So he's trying to reinvent himself in the new weight class, 125. His first time cutting down to this weight class. So a lot of questions to be answered. How is he going to go off the weight cut? Is his chin going to hold up? I know he's been coming off a few knockouts, getting knocked out. So yeah, there's a big questions to be asked. But for me, it's all the same. You know, same setup. I'm fighting my own weight class that I usually fight at. I've made this weight cut so many times now, and I've got momentum now. I've got my first knockout, my first lived up to my nickname, Don't Blink, finally in the UFC. It took a little while, but we got there. And I guess the UFC rewarded me with a fan favorite matchup. Two strikers, two knockout artists, slugging it out, and I guess fighting for that number one contender shot. I see this as the title contender eliminator. I know Cody's been given a title shot before, and then I think he got COVID, and then he had to pull up. So I take out Cody, and I see myself getting a title shot come early 2022.
This will be the first time that you've sort of had one of these fights, you know, against someone that you grew up watching, right? Is there anything different to approaching that, or do you have to put any of that sort of like, oh shit, this is this guy sort of emotion out of the way?
Yeah, I guess it is cool when the guys that, you know, I took their style and try to put it into my style, into my fight game, and now I'll be standing across the cage from them and getting ready to throw down. So I haven't really put too much pressure on myself, and I don't look at like that anymore. Being in the UFC, you know, you're always fighting the best in the world, and yeah, for me it's just another fight. I've had so many in my career now where nothing really surprises me anymore, and yeah, I just can't wait to get in there. I want to test myself against the best, and I've been asking the UFC for a high profile fight, so they finally gave it to me, and yeah, I've been working hard. Even though we're in the lockdown in New Zealand, I've still been able to get in some good work. Been able to get on my bike quite a lot, my road bike, and working on things that I guess I don't necessarily do in normal training situations. So yeah, I'm excited to see the Kai that comes December 11th.
Do you feel like people might be underestimating you in this matchup? Personally, I've seen a little bit of that online. Going back the other night, I went through and watched every single one of your UFC fights back to back, and it's like the most low-key catalog of bangers you can find. Do you think people sort of don't really think about that when they look at this matchup?
Yeah, I guess if you know and you're a fight fan and you watch the UFC, you'll know this is a great matchup. Just momentum and timing's everything. You know, a few years ago, Cody was the face of the UFC. Sorry about that. It's my son. A few years ago, Cody was the face of the UFC. Had everything, had the belt, and he was undefeated. And he was a part of that elite division where they were undefeated all the way until they got to a title. But he never really evolved with his style. He always came forward, always swung. That's like his default. Whenever he gets hurt or gets clipped, he'll just resort back to swinging, which hasn't worked out the best for him in his last 4 or 5 fights. So yeah, it's one of these fights where I don't need to worry about getting taken down, because I know he's too stubborn to do that. He'll rather just go out on a shield than just play it safe and get a quick takedown and get position. But in saying that, he is working with, I saw he's working with Frankie Edgar and training over there, as well as training at his team Alpha Male. So his usual gym. But yeah, he's, stylistically, we're a great matchup. I come forward. I like to swing. I like to kickbox. I've got great cardio. He's always had the speed advantage at bantamweight, but now coming down to flyweight, he won't have that speed advantage because we're all fast. We've all got good cardio. That's just a given at the flyweight division. So yeah, people, if they're underestimating me, don't put money on me. Don't put money on Cody because you're going to lose it. It's going to be a tough night, and it's going to be, it's going to be a great card. This is the last pay-per-view for the year, and they usually stack it with a lot of great matchups. And I saw Mazadov just got announced on the card with Leon Edwards. I saw the flyweight fight's been taken off, which is a bummer. I would have loved to fight on the same card as that title fight to see who's the next one to get the shot. But it's okay. I can stay in Vegas, wait around, and if any of them get past Cody and any of them get injured, I'd love to take that title contender shot.
Just on the UFC 269 card, like you say, it is quite big. A little bit disappointing that Moreno and Figueiredo aren't going to be on there now, so you can't call one of them out straight after the fight. But it's still a huge card, and you seem to find yourself in these huge spots. Like throughout your UFC career, you've just been in big spot after big spot after big spot. I mean, you talk about Cody as once was the face of the UFC. I know you're not the champion, but I mean, they've put a lot of stock in you to fly the flag for this flyweight division. Yeah,
definitely. For me, I bring exciting fights. Dana's said it on his If You Know videos. He said, if you know Kai and if you like knockouts and you like exciting fights, you have to watch this fight. And I lived up to that in my last one against Roger Bodzerin. And it's been a bit of a layoff. I guess my last fight was in March. So yeah, I would have loved to have stayed active, and it's just these times where you got to have to pick your fights where the whole team is available. I know I'm the only CKB fighter on this card, but I just had to kind of see how things worked out with everything. So another great test for me. Another milestone in my career, taking out former champions, but that just shows how close we are to a title. I'm going to get past Cody, and then I'm going to get the rematch against Moreno, and I'm going to get the title, the flyweight title, something that I've been working for all my life. So it's going to be an exciting time. But next year, I want to have an active year. I want to fight as many times as I can. It's the best way that it's the best thing for my career is just to stay busy. We'll see how things work out with New Zealand at the moment. Still in level 3, still pretty tricky on finding time to actually get into the gym and all that, because you can only be outside and train in parks and do what you can at home. But we're still doing what we can, and we're still working around, and we're still focused on December. So things don't change. We just stay focused and keep grinding away. We're just under 9 weeks now, so it's definitely getting closer.
How frustrating or difficult has this year been for yourself? I know you're still very young, but fighting isn't really a sport you can stay in for a long time. You kind of have to capitalize on it while you're here and get out before too long. Like, knowing that you've basically lost most of a year, how does that? How do you feel about that? And I guess the boys in the gym probably in the same boat.
Yeah, everyone's pretty frustrated in the situation, but I guess that's pushing us towards our next move, which is, I guess, basing ourselves overseas. I'm all for it. I've told my family, and they want to come with me. So it's great to have that support system to just pack up and be able to leave. In December, I'll bring my family over with me, and I'll be based in America for the time being until New Zealand opens up its borders. So whenever that is, could be a few months, could be 6 months, who knows. But for my career and for what's best for my family, it's just better to be based over there. At least my training camps won't be interrupted. I can just stay constantly in the gym. I can have quick turnaround fights. I can fight every month if I wanted to. That's just what I got to do. So every athlete, not just mixed martial artists, not just UFC fighters, but every New Zealand athlete's got to make a decision at the moment. I've tried to get an MIQ spot maybe 4 times now in the last few weeks. I think I'm going backwards. I started at about 12,000 in the queue. Now I'm 22,000 in the queue. So it's not looking any good. And I haven't had any update on this new pilot scheme that's coming out. Doesn't really work with my travel times. So for now, I guess, for me, it's just what's got to be done. Go overseas and just base out there. So it depends on what happens with these next few weeks. If we're getting more restricted and in New Zealand and in Auckland, especially with if we go back in a level, then it's going to really hurt this camp, and I'm going to have to go over a bit early. So we'll see what happens. But as far as staying ready and will I be ready for December? I haven't felt this fit before a fight in a long time. I've been able to really push my body past the boundaries and get in those uncomfortable positions. So that's what I'm excited for. But going into deep water and seeing what Cody's made of and putting the pressure on this guy.
How does the wife feel about moving to Las Vegas for hopefully only a few months?
No, she's excited. It's all a part of this adventure that we're both on. Being able to travel the world and chase my dream and have that support system where that they're all for it and they just want the best. You can't ask for any more than that. So I'll so thankful that I have that circle around me that are telling me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. And it's going to be an exciting time for us being based over there. But I've been based overseas in my career before, and it doesn't really matter. New Zealand's always going to be home, but wherever the gym is, wherever CKB will be, it's the people that make the gym. It's not the facility. And I know Eugene said wherever it's going to be, we're still going to keep the same atmosphere, the same environment. I know he's been getting a lot of messages from UFC fighters and UFC gyms saying, hey, we want to jump in on the trainings and join the team. But, if you weren't there from the start, then you can't just jump in when it's convenient. So, we're excited for this move and what the future holds.
Do you have any names to drop in terms of fighters who have reached out to the gym?
I don't know if I could say this, but I'll say it anyway. TJ Dillashaw, he's reached out and he said, wants to train with the best. But I don't know if the gym wants them. But it's just what it is. The demand's there. People see the success that the gym's doing and they want to be a part of it, which I guess I can't blame them. But we have to keep our circle small, I guess, when we're doing so well and we know what it takes to be world champions. We have to take care of that and not let all our secrets out, which we're being so good at in New Zealand because we're so far away from everyone where people don't really take notice. They don't want to fly all the way down to New Zealand just to see what we're doing. And you can't really pick that up on YouTube videos and training videos. They're doing this sort of training. It's not about that. There's more to it than that. There's levels to what we're actually doing here. Nothing will be changing. We'll still be coached by Eugene, still be flying the CKB banner, even though we're basing overseas.
In terms of moving over there, how long have you guys been in discussions about potentially making this move? Because I know Dan and Israel talked about it before Dan's last fight, but I assume the discussions have been going on for quite a while now.
Yeah, it's still it's not set in stone on what's actually happening. But all I know is once I fly over to America, I won't be coming back because I can't go back. So I'm just making sure I'm doing everything. I'm just tying up loose ends here in New Zealand before I do head over. Having to sell my truck, just stuff like that. Making sure once I do make the move, then I'm set. And then when it is time to come home, it would all work out. So it is bittersweet. I don't want to leave my parents and our families, and having that having my son now is 8 months, grow up with his cousins. I want to keep them close with everyone, and I want to keep that relationship really tight. But yeah, they understand, and it's all for the best, and they don't want me to be away from my partner and my son. So it's all for the best. So whatever, however long it has to be, we'll just make it work.
Do you know who's going to be in your corner for 269? I was talking to Joey Lopez a couple of days ago, and he said he might have to come over later in the year for some of the CKB boys because coaches might not be able to come over with you. Are you one of the fighters in that boat?
Yeah, I'm not too sure who's going to be in my corner. It's all still up in the air on what's happening. I know Dan will still be in Vegas, so possibility he'll be there as well as Frank. He'll be based in Vegas as well. So I'm sure I'll be well covered in all aspects of the fights. But yeah, the main work will be done in the camp. So I'll be well drilled on what I need to be doing and what the call is and what the game plan is. But yeah, I'm excited for December. This is my first time fighting in a crowd in a long time. This will be, it's not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. And it's going to be a stacked card. So I've got to make sure I make a statement and separate myself from other fights. And that just means I've got to be excited. I've got to put the pace on this guy, and I've got to bring put the pressure on him and see what he's made of. And I know he's working hard and he's training hard for me. And I can't wait to get one step closer to that title shot.
Now, you fought at bantamweight before, so you know how different this weight cut is. From experience, just how tough is it getting those extra 10 pounds off?
It's pretty tough. If you've never done it before, you don't know how your body's going to react. And I've got it down to a science now with working with Geordie, the fight dietitian, where he knows my body better than I do. And it's all about doing it slowly, making this cut from bantam to flyweight, and giving yourself enough time. And then also the rehydration is the most important. So once you get that weight off and you make the 125 mark, 57 kgs, what you do after that and putting all that water and rehydration back into your body is crucial. So I probably walk heavier than Cody does at bantamweight, and while I'm fighting at flyweight, I walk around maybe 68, 69 kgs. He walks around about 66, 65 when he's fighting at bantamweight. So we've got different body types. He's a bit taller, a bit leaner, skinnier. My weight fluctuates, so I'll go up and then I'll strip down. So it's just the way it all works. But I've done it a lot of times, so my body knows how to react. It knows when it's fight week. It knows when I need to zone in and how to recover from that weight cut. And I've got it down pretty good now, where I'm not really affected by the weight cut anymore. In trainings as well, not taking the quality away from the training sessions. And then that final week, I'm not too drained coming into and stepping on the scale. But Cody's never done this before. He's never cut down to flyweight, so he doesn't know how his body's going to react. He doesn't know how much damage he can take at flyweight. When TJ cut weight against Henry Cejudo for the first time to flyweight, he had to take EPO just to make the weight, which is illegal, and that's why he got banned for 2 years. But he found out that his body was shutting down. He couldn't handle the training sessions. He couldn't get through the trainings without having some sort of assistance. And then when he made the weight, he looked terrible. He didn't put any weight back on. Stepping in the ring, he looked fragile. He looked vulnerable, and he got caught real quick because he was taking away fluid from his brain, and his brain and his body never had done that before. So that's why it was such a shock to his system. And for Cody, if he comes in with the same game plan he usually does when he fights at bantamweight, me when I was fighting at bantamweight, I can't take those same shots at flyweight that I was taking at bantamweight. I had to be a lot more smarter, move my head a lot more, be a lot more, I guess, precise, like a sniper, and not just be give a hit to take a hit. You know, it's not the smart way of doing things. At flyweight, you got to be careful. So I've done this a lot of times, and for Cody, if he comes in trying to just take my head off, I've got power at flyweight, and I'll be throwing them back as well. So yeah, it should be interesting, and that's what makes it a great matchup.
I guess just finally, do you think by December Cody will have learned your name?
Yeah, it's pretty funny, eh? He doesn't. So I found out why he calls me Stephen. His son's name's Kai, and he doesn't like the term Kai because he feels like he's fighting his son. So that's why he's changed my name to Stephen. I thought it was CTE. I thought it was all the knockouts starting to accumulate, but no, it's actually that's why he's saying Stephen. So pretty funny. But yeah, I'm just going to remember my name come December 11th.
Sweet, man. Well, I'll let you get about your business. Thank you very much for that. And if I don't see you before you head off to Vegas, all the best over there.
Cheers, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Sweet, man.